Hello, I'm Joseph Dillard. Welcome to our online Integral Deep Listening video curricula series on cognitive distortions. When you use the jumping to conclusions cognitive distortion, you ignore information and events that disprove your untrue or delusional beliefs, assumptions, and worldview. Here are some examples. They didn't say hi or look at me. They must not like me. I'm going to lose my job because I said I was sick when I wasn't. Because this candidate is a professor of constitutional law, friendly, smart, and tells me what I want to hear, and is a member of a minority, he will be a good president. How is thinking like this a cognitive distortion? Instead of asking questions and getting more information, we make up our own minds. If we don't like ambiguity or uncertainty, we might not do this. Just like we might do black and white thinking. However, life is ambiguous. Things are uncertain. Doubt and questioning generate healthy objectivity. Getting more information is empowering. Mind reading is a particular type of jumping to conclusions. You know what other people are thinking about you without asking because you just know. You can tell when people don't like you or are gossiping about you or are ignoring you because you just know. You interrupt others or tune them out because you know what they're saying. What healthy, wise people do instead is ask themselves, how do I know this? Can I read minds? Perhaps I'm jumping to conclusions. Perhaps I need to get more information. Fortune telling is another subtype of this cognitive distortion that occurs when you know what's going to happen. The second example above is an example of fortune telling. I'm going to lose my job because I said I was sick when I wasn't. How do you know this? Are you psychic? This is an outcome that you fear. You are presenting it to yourself as if your fear is a reality when it's not. It is a possible future outcome. It may or may not happen. And that's what you need to tell yourself when you catch yourself fortune telling. This feeling is about a possible future outcome. It may or may not happen. Other things may happen. I can choose to feel different ways and make fewer assumptions about the future. That's an example of a substitution for a cognitive distortion of this variety. Dream experience is mostly about jumping from one conclusion to the next without ever bothering to check to see if we are correct. When you make the assumptions, both while dreaming and later while awake, about the purpose, nature, interpretation of your dream, without first asking questions and gathering information, you are jumping to conclusions. Therefore, most interpretive approaches to dreamwork involve the cognitive distortion of jumping to conclusions because they do not consult perspectives embedded in the dream themselves. Even if the conclusion is positive, helpful, and even transformational, as a tarot reading, psychic channeling, or dream interpretation can be, if you didn't first ask questions and gather information, your conclusions are likely to be colored by this cognitive distortion. IDL attempts to counteract this perceptual habit by teaching you to interview dream characters so that you can gain information that will allow you to draw realistic conclusions about them. Curiously, most people don't care if they are jumping to conclusions if the conclusion is healing, positive, and transformational, such as falling in love or having a mystical experience. Are positive delusions as harmful as negative ones? No. Are they as important as negative ones? Probably not. However, you probably know from bitter experience what the consequences can be about jumping to the conclusion that someone loves you and will make a good partner, or that something is a good investment. Even with information, such circumstances are difficult. How much more so are they when you just follow your feelings, intuition, and hunches and jump to conclusions? You keep yourself in the drama triangle when you jump to conclusions because you lack objectivity, since you don't gather the evidence you need to see the big picture. Consequently, you choose to remain the victim of your lack of information, feeling unnecessarily or inaccurately attacked, misunderstood, or ignored. This is the problem with positive delusions reached by jumping to conclusions. It feels wonderful for a while, but there is often a crash landing that wakes you up and makes you wonder how you'll let that happen to yourself again. You remain a victim of your misperception. You remain in the drama triangle to the extent that you are victimized by your own delusions. When you jump to conclusions, you're using a logical fallacy called begging the question or circular argument. You do this when you repeat a claim, belief, or feeling without ever providing support for your assumptions. You repeat the same flawed reasoning over and over again. For instance, I know he loves me because he says he'll never leave me, that I'm the only one for him, that he'd go crazy if I left him. Right. People often don't recognize that they are jumping to conclusions by repeating their beliefs without supplying any evidence. Gay marriage is just plain wrong. Dogs are just bad. I can't believe people eat dog. That's just plain gross. Why? Because it's a dog, of course. How could someone eat a dog? Obviously, logging causes severe environmental damage. You don't have to be a scientist to see that. Just go out and look at a clear-cut field and see no trees. Another example. I know God exists because I feel him in my heart. When have you jumped to conclusions? Write an example. Now, write an antidote for it. For example, here are antidotes for the examples that I gave at the beginning of this video. They didn't say hi or look at me. They must not like me. One possible substitution is, maybe they are thinking about something else. It may or may not be true that they don't like me. The second example, I'm going to lose my job because I said I was sick when I wasn't. One possible substitution is the thought, I don't know that. I'm just afraid that might happen. And the third example, because this candidate is a professor of constitutional law, friendly, smart, tells me what I want to hear, and is a member of a minority, he will be a good president. You could substitute, what is his voting record? Who and what organizations are the major contributions to his political campaigns? In other words, get more information. Today is a great day to decide to recognize and stop jumping to conclusions. Do so, and see if you don't find you are less likely to fall into the drama triangle. Thanks for watching. See you next time.